We're live across some of the platforms, about to be live across the rest of some of the platforms. As soon as this red light is clickable on Rockfin, joined by Ian today. Ian, thank you for joining me.
It is my pleasure, Brad.
Did you have a good long weekend?
No, today was my first day off. I worked over the weekend, but I take my long weekend this weekend. So while all you suckers were having the same long weekend, I get my own long weekend while everyone else has to do their normal weekend.
Yes, well, that's cool. What I did over the long weekend partly is Jake and I from Liberty Libations went to Dragon Con for a day where for part of the time I posed as a white dude for Kamala, and I talked to people because I'm trying to find some of this enthusiasm that we keep being told about from the media that exists. And while
bump your mic up just a little.
Oh, it's a little bit low.
Sorry to interrupt. Sorry.
No, it's good. Is that a little bit better?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
While I certainly did attract more Kamala supporters with the pink wig and the white dude for Kamala and the ball gag for a few minutes. Still not very enthusiastic.
Did you feel empowered with that ball gag?
I did. I did an entire interview with one person with a ball gag in my mouth who took me. I tried as hard as I could to get this person to not take me seriously. But they took me seriously the entire. I'm going, and the guy's responding with whatever he thinks I asked him about politics. And he's like, no, it's because of empower, whatever. I'm just, it didn't matter what. And I gave penis straws to everybody, and I'm cutting the clips right now, so hopefully I should have some by next time. The Russians are back, says Nate. Yeah, I saw a little while ago that Tim Pool or somebody is being accused of taking money from Russia.
Oh.
Something like that. Dave Rubin, too, maybe. I don't know, but the Russians are a big go-to for them. But for today, I want to talk about the rise of the Divine Nine, trouble with Fani, and Stelter's long-awaited return. Did he ever leave? Did he ever even leave? Because he was always appearing on CNN, I thought.
Yeah, he never really did leave.
Not really. Very brief.
He just came back as a guest. They just flipped.
Right. Yeah, he's just a regular weekly guest. So before we get to all of that, the story that has been all over the news today, all day, is that school shooting in Winder, Georgia, which is close to where I grew up, kind of close to Athens, Georgia.
Very close to where I'm located currently.
Yeah. It's not too far from Snellville, where I used to live. I don't want to talk a lot about it. You've probably heard about it all day long in the news. According to the story, I'll tell you why I want to talk about it specifically. But according to the story, there were 4 killed, 9 injured by a 14-year-old named Colt, who is in custody now and is going to be treated as an adult. Stories like this, it's tragic when anybody dies like this. Oh, now they're calling him an autistic boy. I just see that popped up there. I did not see that earlier in the story. That's a new wrinkle to it. I didn't see that part. Well, mental health, I didn't see that coming, so I guess that is a mental health angle. But what really stood out to me about the story is the story they did not report much on a couple days ago, which is the story of a 15-year-old that was arrested in Ohio for killing 1 and wounding 4 others near a high school in Ohio after one of the football games. That's according to ABC News. Now, the one here got more attention than the one in Ohio. Why? They're both mass shootings, technically. More died here than there. Both under 15 years old, the assailant. I think the reason that we're hearing more about this one all day, because there's shootings that happen tragically around the country frequently where young people die, and it's terrible. I believe that we're hearing about this one all day long. I mean, not one break today from this story being covered in the mainstream is because that interview on Thursday with Kamala and Tim Walsh was asked about his flub when he was talking about carrying a weapon of war.
Right. It was a grammar issue.
Right. It was he was talking about getting the guns out of schools. And so kids didn't have to be scared when they're in school. And school just started, and then that message was being delivered over the weekend pretty hardcore. That's the message that he's carrying for Kamala pretty heavily. And then this happens today, and this story fits far more perfectly into that narrative than the one 2 days ago, because the one 2 days ago was outside, slightly outside of the school, versus one inside the walls of the school, which is specifically what Tim Walz said he was referring to. I think these stories happen. I think they choose to give the attention to the ones that more perfectly fit these narratives, and I just wanted to point that out. I think they're all tragic, but I think that's why this one's getting all the attention.
I totally agree. Also, it's not, this is a very rural area where this happened.
It is.
For those who are not familiar with the Georgia area.
It is. It's very rural, small. I knew country town. Yeah, I knew a few people who I went to college with some people from that town, and it was kind of an everybody knew everybody place, from my understanding.
Yeah.
So we also got to hear Kamala. They say Kamala went off script to speak about this. Kamala went off script to speak about the tragedy.
You know what, handlers? I'm going to speak from the heart today.
I had this script about the school shooting you wanted me to read, but I'm gonna say the thing I've said in the past about school shooting.
I've been memorizing this school shooting script for a week.
Yes. And she actually said something that I've heard her say before, so it wasn't too far off of script. All right. Oh, also worth noting, because you have the theme of the school shootings that pop up. Now, that could be that school starts and school has to be in session for something to be a school shooting.
Correct.
But yesterday, what is supposedly the writings of the Covenant school shooter in Tennessee was published by a news outlet up there. I haven't read them yet, but the story is getting far less attention, probably because the shooter there was a transgender, and I believe it was a Christian school, if I remember my facts correctly.
It was a Christian elementary school. And do you know how this shooter was able to procure their weapon of war?
No.
The assault rifle. With a Pell Grant, a federal Pell Grant. They used the student loan money that they received. They said it was going to be for books or, student-related costs, and got a $700 Pell Grant, and they were able to buy the rifle that they needed.
Right. What's up? Yeah. What's up, Denver? What's up, Ian? What's up, Steve? Excuse me. What's up, Ian? Again.
Hey. What's up, Brad?
The Pell Grant. What exactly is the Pell Grant again?
The Pell Grant. I think it's it's a supplementary student loan, where it helps you pay for. Like one of my buddies, I remember
weapons of war.
His Pell Grant. Yeah, he used it to make a down payment on a truck.
Oh, also could be a weapon of war. That's funny. A down payment on a truck.
It was a long time ago. Trucks were a lot cheaper.
Yeah. Right. Right. Yeah. Exactly, Tony. So, yeah, you guys have probably heard enough about that story, those gun shooting stories. But the theme of gun shootings, you see them in threes. There's 3 gun shooting stories for you right there. And I'm sure we'll be hearing Tim Walz, Coach Walz, who is the guy they send to talk about school. I got to say, that guy's a creep, man. That guy comes off as a creep.
He really does come. I mean, very, very creepy, very phony. It's like there's no way he's that. It's just very phony. There's no way he's that person behind closed doors.
His brother, I think, endorsed Trump over the weekend. His older brother.
That's right. Well, all the Waltzes apparently endorsed Trump today.
Oh, did they really?
Yeah, the whole family apparently did.
Wow.
I guess that they're a Nebraska clan.
Yeah, a clan of Nebraskans. Yeah. So, and probably racist, probably in the Klan. Yeah. Is what I'd like to see the Walz family go at it personally. But moving on, I didn't know. Did you know that the debate rules were still subject to discussion? That this hadn't been decided
I heard it was finalized.
yet?
I heard it was like smacked down. Like ABC said no.
I thought it was finalized last week. Apparently, it's not finalized because I saw a story a little while ago that Kamala Joy and her team had finally agreed to the debate rules, including the muted microphone that has been the subject of much discussion.
So they are going to mute the microphone?
Well,
Oh, no.
Well, there's a little bit of a caveat in there. And here's where this caveat comes in.
Whenever
up.
she's fact-checking him,
Right,
she gets to unmute the microphone.
This is so hilarious to me. It's so stupid.
It's their own unmute button?
Yeah, Kamala gets a mute button herself. She's in charge of the mute button. But so her team, while they agreed to the rules, they sent a letter to ABC News today saying that the muted mic rule puts her at a disadvantage. And this is what they said.
Yes.
In the letter, it said this. It said, Vice President Harris, a former prosecutor, will be fundamentally disadvantaged by this format, which will serve to shield Donald Trump from direct exchanges with the vice president. We suspect this is the primary reason for his campaign's insistence on the
because it backfired on you guys.
Microphones.
You guys came up with the idea, and it backfired on you, and you realized it backfired on you, and now you're scared.
Right. And then in light of this complaint, ABC has assured, this is according to a source familiar, ABC has assured the Harris campaign that if there is significant crosstalk between Harris and Trump, they may choose to turn the mics on so that the public can understand what is happening, or the moderator would also work to explain to viewers what is being said according to this source. Now, here's what I can see happening.
I know exactly what's going to happen.
The mic is left off, and the moderator explains to the viewers what Trump said while the mic is off.
Yeah.
And the moderator, I've outlined before, one of them, Lindsay Davis, is a Divine Nine Black Freemason member along with Kamala Harris.
They never stop. They never stop figuring out ways. It's like they're just a machine at it.
It's going to be so funny. I hope to see the explain. I hope that outcome, the one I anticipate. I hope that happens. Them explaining. Please explain to us what happened. Yeah, that's funny. So it's going to be interesting to see. We don't really have debate rules, is what it sounds like to me. And to answer your question, Denver, did Waltz have stomach pumped to remove a bunch of horse semen?
Yeah.
There is a newspaper clipping from somewhere that says a Tim Waltz had horse semen pumped from his stomach, but it is believed by the fact checkers to not be the Tim Waltz that is Kamala's VP. So unsure is the answer to the fact check on that. Maybe
Tim the Guzzler
maybe it's another
Waltz.
Tim Waltz. Of all the people to get to have the same name as a guy who had a bunch of horse semen pumped from his stomach. Yeah. The debate is next Thursday, by the way. I believe it's next Thursday. Is that correct?
Yeah.
It's the 10th.
Yeah.
I should have just done it on the 11th or Tuesday. It's next Tuesday.
If he makes any couch jokes to JD Vance, Vance just needs to respond by like whinnying like a horse. That's what he needs to just do.
No, that's what I want to see. I want to see Tim Waltz acting like he's humping a couch, and then I want to see like mocking Vance, and I want to see Vance acting like he's sucking off a horse. Mocking. Now it's the whole debate
that's
for
the
those
whole
two.
debate.
Those two.
Let's just go there.
I don't know when the VP debate is, but that's going to be the really, really entertaining one. Is that debauchery? Sticking with the Divine Nine Freemasons, because they're back in the news. Fani Willis is, anyway. And Fani Willis, Ian, you sent me this article about Fani Willis's daughter. I'll put it up on the screen. So Fani Willis's daughter got arrested for a suspended license, which, that you can have your license suspended and not know it if you pay your ticket, and the DeKalb Recorder's Court, for example, does not file it into their system, like happened to me and many others, and I got arrested for a ticket that I paid. So no fault to her daughter, who happens to be pregnant, for doing that. Who knows? But what was interesting about the story to me is, let's see, that well, first of all, they didn't impound her car. they called her mom, let her mom come pick it up, which that might be a little bit of a privilege.
Sure.
They were going to impound my car, but I talked the guy into. I was like, "Do you have kids?" "I have a family, dude." And he finally he finally let my friend from literally a block down the street come get it. So they didn't impound my car either. I just had to talk him out of it. But who showed up with Fani to pick up her daughter's car is none other than Nathan Wade.
Wow.
Here you can see the two right there. The cop asked, "Is this the husband or is this the father?" And they said, "No, it's just a friend." Nathan Wade, you might recall, is the prosecutor who she gave the top job for the January 6th to oversee the January 6th Trump trial, who was not qualified, who she had been banging, and the allegation was that she was overpaying him with taxpayer money, and then he was using that money to take her on lavish vacations and buy her an endless amount of Baconators for her enjoyment, and he was thrown off, ended up being kicked off of the trial, and now here he is showing up to help. What a good friend. Is she lying under oath?
Friend.
Right, because she said under oath that their relationship ended before the Trump indictment. Is he just a great friend? This to me seems... he'd have to be a really, really good friend.
Maybe they were working on a case. Like he was
right, really hard working on a case. He's got the 404. Look at her.
404.
Look at that. She looks like she's turned on by the cop with that look she's got there.
What? So, apparently,
Nathan Wade had to get that handshake in. You see that? Look at that. They shook her hand, and they just kind of ignored him.
Oh, yeah, okay. I'll shake your hand, too. Sure.
What? So, apparently her license is suspended. For something. Doesn't tell us what for or why or where, or that's something she's going to have to call DMV and find out. Okay. Probably what happened is she had a speeding ticket, some kind of traffic infraction, never went to court, didn't take care of it. Okay. That's the best guess. So she's gone over to Fayette County Jail, which is right in the Fayetteville Square. It's 145 Johnson Avenue. Yeah. Normally, I would say a couple hours is the process. It just depends on how busy they are and like that, okay? The driving on the suspended is basically a traffic citation. She's got to have her fingerprints done and picture taken, then she can make her bond.
There's much more to the video, but the part that I just thought was interesting was that, Nathan Wade, still, what a good friend,
Yeah.
Because guys who aren't hooking up with a chick typically do stuff like that.
Yeah. She is the alpha in that relationship.
Absolutely the alpha in that relationship.
There's no give and take in that relationship. No give and take at all.
No, he is her bitch.
Yeah. And it's going to stay that way, Nate.
For a long, long time. Yeah. And when they get married, how long do they have to wait to make it official for people not to say, you were lying? And they can say, no, we got back together because you guys drove us closer through the adversity. So it's your fault we're together, Trump. Trump is responsible. Then they can thank Trump. Yeah. If it wasn't for Trump accusing us of being together.
Yeah, Trump's so corrupt, he made us corrupt. Just by being next to him. It's like a gravitational pull of corruption.
And so now we're married. Sticking with the Divine Nine theme here.
Isn't there also something called the Majestic 10?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, there might be.
All right.
They're both in the Divine Nine.
Okay.
Fani and Nathan Wade, both Divine Nine.
She is pitching, he is catching for sure.
Members, yes, definitely. Yeah. And I was sent I pointed out a while ago how CNN and other networks started having people on who were openly talking about how the Divine Nine, which are the Black Freemasons, has Kamala's back. Kamala is a member of the Divine Nine, Fani Willis, most of the Fulton County District Attorney's Office, Stacey Abrams, Divine Nine, one of the moderators for next Tuesday, Divine Nine member. It's become this thing that I do that whenever a new character enters this whole Kamala Harris, Fani Willis, whatever saga, I say, is this a Divine Nine member? Turns out that almost every single one of them is.
We should have rushed in college for Divine to be in the one.
We had to go to we had to see if we can be the white guy who they allow into the black fraternity or sorority. Denver asked about I think the Federal Reserve chair in Atlanta. Divine Nine member also.
Wow.
Great question. Just every single time it's an infiltration that goes all the way up to the vice presidency. And I was sent a clip by D's Laughs from the DNC that I did not see, because this is from Black Star Network. And hold on, let me get this uploaded here. And this is the guy's, I don't know the guy's YouTube channel, but he's got millions of subscribers on there, and they had a crew that was doing commentary and showing the DNC. And this is from day 3 of the DNC. Well, hold on a second here. See, I cut the clip this time so we didn't have any problems with it like last week. Here it is.
And I think that
all right, so here's the first clip from Black Star Network, their coverage of the DNC, talking about the Divine Nine in relationship to Kamala and her power.
And I think that the Democratic Party is as strong as black people in the Democratic Party. What you about to say, Roland?
We are
as strong as the Democratic Party, and we were talking about previously about how some people want to overlook us when what they don't understand, and they about to understand, is the importance of D9. All of us sitting here are D9, and trust and believe that Biden was a beneficiary of D9 in 2020.
What was that hand signal he did? I wonder if that meant anything or if that was just an
Go back to it. It was definitely an Illuminati.
Sitting here are D9.
Yeah, there it goes, dude. Total
and
Illuminati.
Trust and believe that Biden was a beneficiary of D9 in 2020, because I know the only reason I supported it was because he picked Kamala. Wes Moore is D9.
Yep.
And what the Democratic Party needs to understand is that we are supporting each other, because that's why we were formed.
That's right.
And we are a power. We have a built-in political infrastructure.
That's right.
That we started building in 1906, and we've continued, and now there's 9 of us.
Yep.
And they better pay attention, because the days of us just voting for white folks because they're at the top of the ticket, those days are gone.
Those are over.
Rebecca.
So that's the first clip, and that echoes. That's a little more straightforward than some of the CNN commentators that have just been like, it's been the D9, the Divine Nine, that has carried Kamala, and they don't elaborate on it as much as she did. And this next clip, I believe they're a little bit more about the infrastructure. These are all just D9 Kamala related. They even mention the Masons in some of them.
Wow.
But let me tell you, I agree with the sister. It's all about the Divine Nine.
Yep.
And
they about to find out.
We have such a beautiful relationship, and we all stand together. So, I might put a little pink and green on.
Yeah, pink and green ribbon.
In honor of my sorors. And the vice president, is AK, and I like that. She's part of the Divine Nine.
All right.
So sometimes people will try and refute that Kamala is part of the Divine Nine. She's very much part of the Divine Nine. You have an admission right here in her sorority.
Yeah, this is absolutely crazy that they're going this far. And this is Black Star Network's small internet.
No, they're not
network.
small.
What is this?
They're
not CNN. Is what I'm. Well, CNN's.
This channel has. If I can find the actual link, I can tell you how many.
This is not being suggested in my YouTube newsfeed.
No, this is not.
Okay.
But this channel is from Roland Martin, has 1.39 million subscribers.
Okay.
Video has
He looks
about
familiar.
60K, and this is for the.
What's his story?
He is I think he's a DJ, or he's like a talk show host.
Okay.
Yeah, he does a daily show, broadcast show from DC on social justice.
This like every time they say Divine Nine, and then they give each other this knowing glance, like the way she's looking.
Right.
Like
yeah, they're about to
two.
find out.
Yeah, it's creepy.
It is.
It's super creepy.
It's creepy, but I love that they say Kamala, right there. She's a member of it. You're not going to hear that on CNN.
No.
You're just going to hear that they're backing Kamala on CNN.
No, yeah. Very few Kamala supporters are ever going to see this clip.
Right. So here's a couple more.
If the world don't know, they gon' know.
Yep. So if the world don't know about D9
Very
and Kamala.
excited about the world knowing about the Divine Nine.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means exactly.
Yeah, let's hear that full one. I thought that was the end of it. I forgot about that little part of it. Let's just hear the last part of it again.
AK, and I like.
The Kamala's an AKA.
Yeah, pink and green ribbon.
Alpha Kappa Alpha.
In honor of my sorors, and the vice president, is AK, and I like that. She's part of the Divine Nine.
All right.
If the world don't know, they gon' know.
About to find out.
We're going to find out. We're going to know.
Yep.
The D9 has an infrastructure that we started building in 1906. Can't nobody duplicate it.
So that's true. That's when they built this infrastructure it's like part of the, grew from the Boule, from my understanding of it, as an attempt to control the black youth through these organizations. Not to say that they don't do that through other fraternities that are, not race exclusive, or that, any fraternity. And I was almost calling them white fraternities, but anybody is allowed in some of these fraternities at the other schools. They're all a little bit, can be ritualistic.
Be white and be in the Divine Nine. You can be white and be in a black fraternity.
You probably can.
No, you can. I know a guy.
Do you?
Yeah.
You know a guy in the Divine Nine?
I can set up a meeting.
Yeah, let's I'd like to be. Let's have this guy on the show.
Okay, yeah, I know.
All right, I'd love to
set up a meeting, man. Yeah.
All right, I'd love to talk with this guy.
Where's the Prince Hall Masons?
Like it's meat.
Where's Eastern Star? You've got Links. You've got Jack and Jill. You got all these organizations. My issue is, are they fully leveraging their influence to drive folks out to vote? And so, to me, it's a waste of having black infrastructure if you don't use it.
Well, one good thing is that the D9 has tentacles in all those organizations that you just mentioned.
They have tentacles in all the organizations they just mentioned, and they actually call themselves the Black Freemasons, which Prince Hall Freemasonry. That's what that's one of the branches of Freemasonry that makes up the Black Freemasons. This is all a very interesting conversation they're having. I'm going to start watching this network more to get more insight on it. Zach wants to know if it's Reginald that is in the Divine Nine fraternity. Ian, is it Reginald?
Yeah, Reginald is the guy. Okay, that's exactly what I was talking about. Yeah, but I can set you up a meeting.
I would love to meet with him to talk about this. It'd be great.
No, I really do. I do know a guy, and I can get you connected.
Yeah, all right, sweet. One more clip here.
We literally were literally just talking about Divine Nine, and I said beyond that, Prince Hall Masons, Eastern Star, Links, in terms of
activating the infrastructure.
How are y'all mobilizing folks to drive the vote?
We're driving them out with Link Up the Vote. Okay. That means you need to register people, but most importantly, get them to the polls. Doesn't matter what the affiliation, be it the church, be it your barbershop, your hairdresser, your school. It's about getting everybody you know on your street, in your neighborhood. They have got to get registered, know where to vote,
voting
have
is
a
my
vote
black job.
plan, and then get to the polls.
That's
early,
my national president.
Get them there early, often, but vote.
All right. I appreciate it.
All right, well, she answered the question.
Everybody. And we're with the Divine Nine. We're with the church affiliation. You name it. And we were Roland Martin.
Yeah, no, I heard that's his. My voting is my black job.
There is a website called blackjobs.com.
Yeah, I know.
Just type it in, blackjobs.com. It's like a Craigslist.
It's like a Craigslist where you can.
Yeah, kind of. It's like.
Do you know a guy? Do you know a white guy who's gotten a job through there also?
Yeah, I know.
I'd love to talk to him as well.
Yeah. I'll get you connected.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah. All right, so this is a clip from. It's a YouTube channel. Her name is Joanne Gabriel. This is just the first one that I found when I was searching it. I would have gone to TikTok, but I didn't. I was trying to pull the clips, so we didn't have the same problem as last week. So she just gives the title of this video is "Denounce the Divine Nine final warning to Christians and sororities and fraternities. Some of the comments are, she's not lying, y'all. The Lord pulled me out using scripture. It's very biblical based. And from what I've seen on TikTok, many of the former members of these fraternities and sororities who have made lots of videos denouncing it, saying that it's demonic, speak in similar biblical terms. So that might not be for everybody, but she does give a little bit of background. And I don't know the accuracy of all of this. I just thought the first part of her explanation was interesting, of the origins of these fraternities and sororities.
This is a word of the Lord to all Christians that are still in Divine Nine sororities and fraternities. I received this warning on April 7th, 2024, and the Lord wants me to start off this warning with this. Each of you tear down the Egyptian idols you have set upon your hearts. Get rid of your paraphernalia and repent. Renounce and denounce yourselves from the covenant you made with these Egyptian idols. Now, the Holy Spirit actually had me, do research into the whole D9 thing. And, guys, I don't care about D9. I never pledged, and I really don't care about it, but this is on the Lord's heart. So he had me research in depth the origins of D9. So it's all in my notes here. So I'm going to be reading from my journal. The Divine Nine are 9 Enid gods of Egypt. They were descendants of the god of Atum, who was the sun god. These 9 gods, lowercase g, actually helped rule over Egypt and rewrote a mythical story of creation. These Egyptian gods, lowercase g, got divine wisdom and knowledge from the Nephilim, which are, the half angels, half humans that was talked about in Genesis chapter 6, verses 2 and 4. So these Egyptian gods actually had mystery schools, and you had to go through a rite of passage to actually get into the school to receive wisdom teaching, is what they called it. Now, pledging, it just talks about a rite of passage. So the pledging process is rooted in this rite of passage process to get into the mystery schools. Now, the Greeks at the time knew about the mystery schools, and they asked the Egyptians about it, but the Egyptians were like, you need to mind your business, which is very similar to what these people that have pledged do. They say, I can't tell you my process. I can't tell you what happened. Nothing is new under the sun. We're literally just reliving everything in the Bible. Now, for the Egyptians...
She goes on to make that biblical comparison. I thought the Nephilim part was interesting. And, of course, you're going to get the rituals when you pledge for any fraternity, whether it's Divine Nine.
You remember the Illuminati cop? What was it? The Freemason police force?
Right. Yes.
That was connected to Kamala. You remember that guy who was the sheriff or captain or whatever, chief? In the background, he had Egyptian artifacts.
He had a lot of that symbolism there.
They're really into that. That mystery. I'm telling you, man, they really believe that they can work magic, and they probably do to a certain extent.
This stuff is what made me start to think that Brandon Keel story of the Knights Templar, the Masonic police force, was not just crazy people, that it was people who have been led to believe that they were actually part of an organization. Perhaps they're Divine Nine members. Actually, I looked it up. They are Divine Nine members. So they are part of the same organization. These guys who are going around California posing as police officers, telling police precincts that they were there to exercise their jurisdiction.
Yeah. What was it? 30 states and Mexico.
Bend the knee. 33 states.
33 states.
33 states. 33. Yes.
Oh, by the way, I forgot to say this. Okay. Since we're talking about symbolism and stuff, Kamala waited 40 days before she had an interview. She came out of the desert. And
she split the ocean.
She came out after 40 days.
40 days.
And that was my dad's observation.
Yeah, that's interesting. Very interesting.
I said, Kamala's doing an interview, and he goes, coming out of the desert, huh?
That's very interesting. Wouldn't surprise me if they timed it to be that way. What I want to know is, when did Tim Walsh become a member of the Black Freemasons? Is he the guy you know?
He's like the jerk. He's like he's Steve Martin's character in The Jerk.
Yeah. Okay. So Yeah, it just the rise of the Black Freemasons, the Divine Nine. They're taking over Fulton County, for sure. Whatever their agenda, that's I don't know.
Atlanta is supposed to be, if you listen to Bill Cooper, it's supposed to be the new Atlantis. This is a very specific. They have specific plans for Atlanta.
Well, the plans seem to be in action, and I tell you what, they're driving businesses out of Atlanta. That's for sure. Because nobody wants to work in Fulton County right now. There's like an epidemic of empty office buildings in Fulton County.
Yeah,
because of the crime and the prices. There are other videos from former members of the Divine Nine, who are saying similar things to her, and they go in depth to more of their experiences, but I couldn't find one of those before the show. But moving on, I thought it'd be interesting to share with you. I signed up for a bunch of canvassing, door-to-door stuff, because I was thinking maybe I could go on one of these door-knocking campaigns, maybe wear my White Dude for Kamala shirt that I have now, and get like a hidden camera or something like that, just to document the whole experience. And I got an email today about thanking me for being a part of the canvassing Neighbor to Neighbor campaign. It's Indivisible's Neighbor to Neighbor campaign, and I can share with you what this. They gave me a script. They said, "Here's your script for your door knocking," and they actually give you addresses of whose door to knock on in your area. I won't share those, but I
want one of these door knockers to come to my house, and I'm gonna let them convert me.
Hear out their whole pitch.
I'm gonna hear out the whole pitch. I'm gonna let them convert me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here it is, June. Well, it's not June. That's old. They sent it today. But it says, our goal with these conversations is simple. We want to remind neighbors about the stakes of this election and the importance of voting for Democrats this November. Your list of doors are likely to include only Democrat-leaning voters, so these should be friendly conversations. But what if they're wrong? What if they're wrong? Yeah. It does sound like a cult.
Oh my gosh. You should bring someone with you to have cue cards.
It would be,
put this whole script on a cue card.
Yeah, have the cue cards and have private security armed.
Yeah.
Private security. So here's the door script. Hi, I'm blank. I remember I used to call. I have a couple videos where I called my senators or congressmen with these indivisible scripts, and I just read the scripts verbatim regardless of what the people said. I'd say, hi, I'm blank. And they were very confused. Hi, I'm blank, and I live in the neighborhood. I'm sure you know that it's an election year, and I'm talking to neighbors about the importance of voting. These elections will decide whether Democrats can restore abortion rights nationwide and protect our democracy, or whether MAGA Republicans have the power to ban abortion and undermine our elections and voting rights. I think it's really important to get out and vote for Democrats so we make sure these MAGA extremists don't take power and don't take away our rights. Can I share a bit about what's on the ballot this year? I feel like they already shared a little bit about what they believe is on the ballot this year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, my gosh.
That's funny.
These MAGA extremists.
And then it says, if voter is supportive and or has voting questions. That's great. So this is where you just respond regardless of how they respond.
They do have these are the overcoming objections and
yes,
moving
exactly.
forward. Okay.
That's great. I'm glad to hear you're voting! ! This flyer has voting information. They give you a printout and a flyer to bring with you. And more about important races in our area. Then walk them through the relevant races and or ballot measures. You can double check your polling location, polling hours, early vote times and locations, voting requirements, and make sure your voter registration is up to date. If the voter is enthusiastic, if you're interested in getting involved, we have lots of opportunities coming up to join our fight to protect our rights to selection, including phone and text banks. You can visit majorityovermaga.org for more information. And you can also search your local Indivisible group. And here is the hesitant voter, or if they ask specific questions, which God forbid they ask specific questions. I know that's a really important issue. It's very placating. I think the bottom line is, who can we trust to do the right thing on protecting our rights and making sure our elections are free and fair, and on making corporations and the wealthy pay their fair share? It really worries me to see MAGA Republicans pushing for a nationwide ban on abortion, even though that's not what they're doing.
Right.
And even restrictions on things like contraception and IVF. It worries me to see MAGA Republicans trying to overturn elections and trying to make cuts to Social Security and Medicare. That's why I think it's so important to get out and vote for Democrats, even if we don't agree on everything. And then if the voter asks a specific question about a candidate's position, I'm just an independent volunteer focused on getting out the vote, and I'm not involved directly with a candidate's campaign, so I'm not sure. I think the best way...
Well, yeah, but you just told me about this. Like,
that's so funny.
That's a total bailout on that one.
If they ask you a specific question, how dare you? I'm just trying to get the word out.
Oh, my gosh.
All right. So finally, Brian Stelter's back. Thank goodness Brian Stelter's back. You saw the story about Stelter, right? Nah, he came. CNN rehired him. He's back.
No, I mean, I just what you said earlier. Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Brian Stelter returns to CNN.
Wow.
Look at him. Look how serious he is. He's a serious person.
He'll be the chief media analyst. Isn't that what he did?
He's the chief media analyst now.
He was the misinformation analyst or something.
Yeah, he was. I can't remember what they used to call him, but any title that Stelter has in it should have anal in it.
Yeah. Stelter. Look at
Here he is standing outside.
He's always pursing those lips. He's always got those lips pursed.
This photo was taken with him standing outside of a playground, choosing which child to put in his van. Brian Stelter has re-entered the chat. The TV newser, founder of CNN's Reliable Sources newsletter, is returning to the Warner Brothers Discovery-owned network as the chief media analyst. Stelter announced his new gig on his always active thread on X and formerly Twitter. So Stelter is easy to call stupid. Stelter is not a bad journalist. Stelter is a pretty good propagandist. And when he got fired from CNN, he didn't really get downgraded. He went over to Stanford News Initiative, where he was a mentor to up-and-coming journalist students at Stanford University. So he was put in a position where he could...
or something, or...
I don't know if he taught classes. I just know he was in a probably something like that.
He was into corrupting the...
Yes, right, exactly. He was into mentoring young minds quietly outside of scrutiny. Yeah. So that's actually more dangerous than being in a public position of scrutiny. So he was in a more dangerous position before. Now he's back on CNN, where he's going to be mocked and they're going to get hate views. I'm going to watch simply because I know he's such a joke in what he says.
Dude,
go ahead.
No. Please go ahead. No,
he says things that are just stupid, but he doesn't. He's a good troll. He is a good troll. He's good at acting like he's dumb to what he's doing, and he's just trying to be honest, but he's just trolling people. He named his child Story, for crying out loud. Propaganda would have been a better name, but he named his kid Story Stelter. What a jerk.
Yeah, I like that Justin Bieber just named his kid Jack.
Yeah, just a normal name, Bieber. Thank you, Justin.
Jack Bieber.
Yes, Jack Bieber. That sounds like a hard drinker.
Yeah.
Jack Bieber's coming. Make sure you got enough whiskey.
Everyone hide! Jack Bieber's coming!
And he comes in and he dances, and then he finishes it with a kick, and then a glass flies up, falls right into his hand, and then he pour whiskey into it. I just want to remind people what Stelter, his history here. So Stelter...
He'll provide a lot of content.
He is. I was mocking Stelter for a very long time. Wait, that's the wrong Stelter video. Before Stelter kind of became
he's so gay.
He is very gay. But Stelter, so you remember how the news used to not talk about Jeffrey Epstein? They used to, when they could make it a Trump thing, when they could make it when it was a Clinton only story, they would never talk about it. But then when the Clintons were out of the news and they could try and make it a Trump story, they would talk about it.
Right.
This is one of those fake interviews I used to do because I can't find this clip anymore. Otherwise, I'd just show you this clip. But this here is this is what Stelter does. This is his job. The reason I show this is because years later, Stelter actually openly talked about Jeffrey Epstein. And this might start in a little bit of I don't know exactly where it is, but I think it's within this first minute or so. Words.
Kellyanne Conway.
Wait, hold on. Never in real life. Ideal Saturday night in 2 words.
Kellyanne Conway.
How many mashed potatoes can you fit in your mouth at once?
3 buckets of them.
First thing that pops into your head when you hear the word wife.
They're designed to be shared.
What? Are you a swinger?
Yeah.
What's your wife's nickname for you?
Tiny.
You hope to one day make love
to an audience of bankers.
Some of CNN stories are more than just distorted. They
are entirely made up.
What's your fantasy?
Facebook and you and me.
Leave me out of that one. Hillary Clinton.
Hybrid.
If it fits CNN's agenda, CNN has no problem reporting
BS stories.
What does everybody that works at CNN call themselves?
The fakers.
All right, Brian, let's analyze some fake news. I have a clip here of some very subtle manipulation tactics. Let's take a look at it.
There's a man named Jeffrey Epstein who was convicted of child pornography. Bill Clinton took several flights with this individual, and there were some real questions as to why these flights were not on the books, what happened on these flights.
Are we really going to do this?
Yeah,
are we really going to go down these fake news rabbit holes?
They are 2 separate things.
All right, great. Kayla, she was bringing up a fact, an inconvenient truth that the Clintons don't want the public to know about. They want you to help them cover it up. Is this true or false?
True.
One of those inconvenient facts being that Bill Clinton did fly on Jeffrey Epstein's pedophile plane 26 times, right?
Yeah.
And that Jeffrey Epstein, who was facing charges of international child sex trafficking and a whole bunch of other horrible things, potentially facing life in prison until the Clintons helped him get a deal, was part of the original group that helped conceive of the Clinton Global Initiative, right?
True.
Oh, that's true. Both of these facts are undeniable, proven by court documents. Here's part of the plea negotiation letter written by high-powered attorney Alan Dershowitz to the United States District Attorney on behalf of Jeffrey Epstein, where it states that Jeffrey Epstein was part of the original group who helped conceive of the Clinton Global Initiative, a fact that was used to help Epstein get that sweetheart deal. Anybody who's interested in finding out more about how much of a monster Epstein is and how deeply tied to him the Clintons are, you can click on the links in the description box. You can't because they took it off the internet. These are 2 facts that you're well aware of and that it's your job to help cover up, correct?
Yeah.
I thought so. It was written all over your face when she brought up the fact that Bill Clinton flew on the pedophile plane and you furrowed your brow and gave her that, I got to shut her up look. Let's take a look at that.
Bill Clinton took several flights with this individual.
And then you tried to make her sound crazy and socially shame her by saying, are we really going to do this? Are we really going to go down these fake news rabbit holes?
Are we really going to do this? Are we really going to go down these fake news rabbit holes?
When you know good and well that the Clintons... All right, so that I always liked whenever people bring up Stelter. I didn't mean to show. I didn't think it was going to be that long, but Stelter, his job was to shield that story from the public until that story could be spun into being just a Trump-only story. When Jim Acosta, not the CNN anchor, but the guy who was the prosecutor in Florida at the time, who was bullied by a bunch of Epstein's people, when you read the documents, was put in Trump's cabinet, and they were like, whoa, Trump's buddy Acosta gave Epstein a sweetheart deal, and then he put him in his cabinet as a reward, which is not the truth.
Right.
And Brian Stelter's a good propagandist and probably very, very gay. Any thoughts?
No, I think he's probably someone who likes to be tied up and beaten, humiliated.
Loves
I think
it.
I think he likes all that. I think he likes all that stuff.
Yeah.
No, it's. I mean, of course they're bringing him back. Maybe they're gearing up. They're getting their team back together for the Trump news stuff.
Yeah, because he's definitely will do anything that he is instructed to do.
Yeah. It seems like geez, I wonder if they're gonna bring Don Lemon back and some of the rest.
God, that'd be great.
So, bring the whole team back.
Yeah, Don Lemon's been doing man on the street stuff to try and. Can you imagine? What would you do if Don Lemon came up to you on the street and?
I'm sorry, I don't have any money.
Get away from me!
Get away from me! I don't have any money.
Homeless man.
Why are you trying to rob me?
Yeah. All right, you got time to do one smoking gun story?
Yeah, man, let's do it.
All right, let's do it. We'll get out of here. Yeah, Kaylee was good at her job also.
I loved Kaylee. Kaylee come out with that big old book. Open it up. It was bigger than the Project 2025
It was
book.
bigger than that. Was a big book, the Project 2025.
It was her binder. She put it all together. And she would go, excuse me, what lie did you just ask me? I'm going to look here.
Yeah. I love the way you licked your finger there.
Yeah.
That was
What's
good.
that?
I love the way you licked your finger there. That was good. All right. Here's what we got here. We got Doctor busted for bizarre urine antics. Or we have...
Wait, where is that one?
That's number 2.
I don't see... Oh, okay. There we go. Okay, I got it.
Or we have cops... A wedding photog recorded topless bride. Well, yeah, that's probably a lot of wedding photogs. Or we have meat man who menaced these young anglers. I think
those young anglers. Okay, I know the story.
Oh,
that's
do you?
Referencing to? I know that story, but I really want to understand why this doctor got busted for bizarre
I do too.
urine antics.
I'm leaning Dr. Urine.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do Dr.
Dr. Urine. That'd be an unfortunate nickname is Dr. Urine. All right, here we go. There's Dr. Urine right there. Doctor busted for bizarre urine antics. Internetist. What is an internetist? 59 doused ex.
He's an internist.
Internist. Thank you. I'm retarded. An internist, 59, doused ex-office with gallons of vile liquid. I guess that depends on who you ask if it's vile or not. Okay, I'll make this a little bigger. Good. The 59-year-old internist sold his Florida medical practice in 2022 to a fellow doctor. In recent months, Balula reportedly became upset over the business with purchaser Dr. Dylan Dinesh, who is 32, who runs the affiliated health clinics out of Balula's former office in St. Petersburg. Court records do not reveal the nature of the business dispute. Investigators allege that Balula went to Dinesh's office on July 30th and soaked the front doors with gallons of fluid, which had the odor of urine. On August 17th, Balula allegedly returned to the property and again unleashed a cascade of rank-smelling liquid. On both occasions, cops say Balula and his vehicle were recorded by surveillance cameras. The urine-smelling liquid soaked into the front wooden doors, causing irreparable damage. Replacing the door would cost $1,500, according to an arrest affidavit, which reports that the medical practice suffered $6,000 in other losses related to the urine attacks.
Jeez.
Pictured above, Balula was arrested and charged with he was arrested yesterday and charged with a felony count of criminal mischief.
So that's like a funny joke, right? Like, hey, it's a really bad joke. You're in big trouble, but you got in some mischief.
Right. Yeah. It's a joke that you spend a lot of time working on to collect gallons of urine, unless he's running a practice out of his house and he's saying, I need a urine sample before you leave.
What are you guilty of? Mischief.
Yeah. Maybe stealing patients' urine they should look into also. Mm-hmm. He's saying, I need to test your urine. Yes, pictured above is arrested. He was released from custody last night after posting a $5,000 cash bond. According to state records, his medical license, which expires in January, is active and lists his primary practice address as his $1.7 million waterfront home. That's where he was collecting all this urine. I guarantee it.
Yep. Gallons of it.
So think about this. What if he is telling people he's testing them for something, and he's going, "Oh no, you're clear. You're clear."
I'm gonna hold on to this urine.
Yeah. Meanwhile, he's got a funnel and a bunch of milk gallons. He's pouring them into.
Yeah. We're gonna take a urine sample. Just pour it into this big barrel.
Yeah, but he's like getting the most rank smelling urine. People who actually have problems.
Yeah.
He's getting. He's saying, just make sure you eat a bunch of asparagus before you come.
Oh gosh.
In 2003. He was formally reprimanded by the Board of Medicine, fined $10,000, and ordered to perform 100 hours of community service after he improperly prescribed medication to an online client he never gave a physical exam to. He didn't order any tests or provide an adequate diagnosis, among other standards of care violations. Wow, that's So this guy's definitely he's like a black market doctor. He'll do anything for the right urine.
Yeah, he was a virtual medical group, a telemedicine outfit.
Right. You can also go to this guy and be like, I got rank urine.
Yeah.
How much do you want to get this doctor back? And he's like, well, I got some oxy. He's like, come on, bro. I'm going to need a little more than a few oxy. It's fine. If you don't want to get this doctor back, I can walk away. He's like, all right, I got some heroin. At the time, Biolo, however you pronounce his name, was employed by virtualmedicalgroup.com.
He was a teledoctor.
That is so funny, dude. So there's the guy in Florida who, if you want some drugs from, that's your guy.
Yeah.
But probably should go to the guy who is terrorizing if you want to get. I wonder what the feud was. That's what I want to know. Is what were they feuding about? You know?
I have no idea. What would they, he
And
sold the business. Why were you so upset about it?
That was his fault. Yeah. I mean, I guess he wanted
maybe he
it.
lost it in a bet.
Yeah.
It was a bet, and he didn't really sell it. He had to kind of just sign it over.
Yeah. He didn't. He didn't collect enough urine. Yeah. The other guy beat him.
Yeah, the guy's like, hey, I got all this urine. My urine business is expanding.
It's better.
It's
Better. So you suck. And he's trying to put. I don't know what the reasoning behind the urine attack is, unless there's some sort of urine history there.
Mm-hmm. You're in trouble now.
Yeah. Yes. There's got to be something there.
Yeah.
Because who just comes up with, oh, I'll attack him with urine? Unless
maybe they had a love affair.
That's where the urine started, right there.
It's a love affair.
Yeah, urine love.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Ian, for joining.
Yeah, we're not going to top that.
Yeah. We got enough urine puns in there in the show. Thank you guys for joining us, and we'll do it again tomorrow night. Looking forward to it. You guys have a fantastic rest of your day. Check out Reginald on Twitter. You can also check out Ian on Twitter. Mm-hmm. And you can check out me on Twitter, and you can find my link tree on there as well if you want to see how to support the show. One easy way to support the show if you're not a donor is if you're listening to the audio-only version, let the ads play through, which I should usually say at the beginning of the show, but nevertheless, thank you guys again. Propagandafight.com. We'll talk to you guys next time. Have a fantastic rest of your day.